Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Knight of Squires and this is Warhammer Total War 2. As always, if this is your first time joining me, welcome. If not, welcome back to this, the final match of round 2 of the KoS Championship tournament that I've been running. I hope you've all been enjoying the series so far. And today we have, the final match of this round, which is between KoS playing the Vampire Coast, the Vampire Counts, and the Lizardmen, versus the LunacyOfFenris, who is playing the Greenskins, the Dwarves, and the Lizardmen. So, with that being said, we're going to move straight on into the first match of this round, and we will see you on the loading screen. So here we are outside the ancient dragon cave. We have KoS with Count Noctilus with a full battery of spells, some deckhand mobs and with both with swords and polearms, a couple units of dual axe depth guard, some gunnery mobs with pistols, a unit of the gunnery mobs with hand cannons, which you don't see particularly often, some fellbats, Mornghuls, some Prometheans, and the Necrofex Colossus, which is a really terrifying thing to try and deal with. As for LunacyOfFenris, we have Grom the Paunch, the new hotness over here on his wolf chariot, a Deathcaster Hag, which is one of the new units released in the current DLC. I'm really excited to see this one in action. I don't see a lot of Deathcasters. A couple units of Goblin Spears, some Night Goblin Swords, the 8-peak Loonies, which should be fun, 3 units of Biggins, 3 units of Archers, unit of Goblin Wolf Riders, Orc Boar Boys, 2 units of Goblin Spider Riders, and some Snotling Pump Wagons. This should be a nice fun one. Let's have a quick look at deployments. KoS going for a largely symmetrical deployment again. We've got Noctilus in the centre, 2 units of the handguns, the swords, halberds on both flanks, the depth guard behind, and then the Rotting Prometheans and the Necrofex Colossus, sorry about that, over on this left flank, with a unit of fellbats all the way over here on the right flank. Whereas LunacyOfFenris has gone for a almost encircling style deployment, all the way over here. Oh, did I miss something over here? What unit has KoS got over here? Oh, the Mornghuls, right on top of these Night Goblins. Well, that's going to be a fun right off the bat. Over here, right the way over here in this corner, we have the unit of Goblin Wolf Riders coming in for a rear charge. Then we have the 8-peak Loonies, Night Goblin Swordsmen. They're a little far on one flank from what I would normally see, but we will see how that works. Boar Boys, Spider Riders. I'm not sure where the other unit of Spider Riders is, but they're around here somewhere. Goblins, Biggins. Sort of with some archer fire behind here. There's the River Troll Hag. Grom the Paunch out here in the middle all by himself. The Snotling Pump Wagon, just the one. There's the one pump wagon. Poor little boy, all on his lonesome. Some more Arrow Boys, Goblin Spears. There's the other Spider Riders. And these 2 units of Goblin Swordsmen, the Night Goblin Swordsmen, all the way over here, about to get munched on right off the bat by these Mornghuls. So, with that being said, I'm going to press play and we'll see exactly how badly they get munched on off the bat. Oh, there's some shots going into these already. I think the Necrofex has seen the goblins, and he's firing into those Orc Biggins all the way over there, look. And then the Mornghuls have decided to just eat these goblins. They've realised they're here. The Spider Riders are shooting in. Everybody's shooting into these poor little goblins and Mornghuls over here. And with that, the pirates have started the move forward. This pump wagon is standing out in the open. Needs to be potentially a little careful. The Wolf Riders are going right the way around the back. The Fellbats are potentially about to get shot. Just floating here. The Boar Boys are looking for a nice charge, but they're going to get hit by those Fellbats if they're not careful. Noctilus summoning death and darkness down upon these poor Araboys, while the next set launches into the gunnery mobs. Which, these big uns are already wavering. They must have taken a few shots from this Necrofex, because they are not looking happy with their lives right now. The gunnery mobs are pulling back. Oh, that was such a shot. Look at that. Nearly half health an Araboy unit from the Necrofex Colossus. But Kordav's army is mostly just standing around as it gets completely encircled. Some potential micro misplays here. This unit has begun crumbling, but they are rallying now, and these big uns are about to get what is coming to them. The Spider Riders, Spearmen, and Boar Boys. The Boars are coming around for a charge on the back. I think they're going to try and hit those depth guard, or potentially these gunnery mobs. Into the gunnery mobs they go, and it is brutal charge into the side of them. Zombies going flying, units just dying everywhere, and a pit of shades I think it's a pit of shades, just absolutely eviscerating this unit. Both units of Orc Araboys here absolutely eviscerated. The depth guard have decided to commit to this fight in the middle. We've got Grom the Paunch in the centre. He probably wants to get out of here and do some cycle charging. Noctilus is, I think, going to go and see off some of these orcs. The Necrofex just standing in the middle, just firing into all of the Araboys. I think we have a summon here. It is a pirate deckhand mob summon from Noctilus to tie up both of those Araboys. The halberds are wandering around in the backfield, getting shot by the Spider Riders. Both Spider Riders are flanked all the way around to get into the juicy rear of the Vampire army, but the Fellbats are now seeing off these particular unit of Spider Riders. The 8-peak loonies have been unleashed and have ripped through these deckhands. And potentially all this. A Purple Son of Xerius is potentially going the wrong way. Oh no, it's going to eat the 8-peak loony. Ah! Done some damage to his own side there. Friendly fire, friendly fire. I'm not sure where that Deathcaster has gone. She's around here somewhere. But a huge number of the Orc units are just running off the pitch. Some of them are rallying, but they are certainly not looking particularly happy about the process. The deckhand mobs and the gunnery mobs are beginning to crumble underneath the onslaught of vampire units. Just random cannonballs getting fired into these Spider Riders from the Necrofex Colossus, which I believe is still got half its ammo left, just shy of, about just over a third of its ammo left, and is just being left to fire indiscriminately into these poor goblin Spider Riders. These guys are about to crumble out of existence. Over here we've got just units of gunnery mobs, deckhand mobs running around. The big uns are on their way back in, but I don't know if they've got the leadership to survive running into these fear-causing units. In they go. I don't know if the orcs have ever summoned off their Y yet. Noctilus is here, reigning supreme, the hunger keeping him nicely topped off. The Boar Boys are coming in to get a rear charge on these depth guards, and crash in they go. Rear charge, knocking Nautilus on his ass and taking out these depth guards. But the hunger is just going to keep them really, really topped off with health and really difficult to remove. Those Boar Boys have gone. Grom is in the middle in his chariot. And I think that's pretty much the last holdout of the orcs. Actually, there's these Spider Riders doing alright over on this side, running around and generally causing a nuisance for themselves. The pump wagons have broken, they are running, the Fellbats are chasing them, getting shot by these Spider Riders. This unit is charging. Oh, they've run out of ammo, so he's just charging into the Necrofex and decides that it's not having that today, thank you. And that is a army losses, fear victory for the vampires. Let's have a look at the end screen. That was a little back and forth on both sides. I thought for a while Kordav was just going to let the orcs rampage right into his lines and not really do anything. But the Necrofex Colossus, 74 kills. The Depth Guard getting 60. These are the numbers you're looking at here. Everything else, surprisingly, did very, very little, but that Necrofex just makes its money back every game, just firing point blank almost into large units, especially large units of orcs. It's really rough. Whereas on the other side, LunacyOfFenris, Grom getting 99 kills, absolutely running over zombies left, right and centre, but unfortunately nothing else really seemed to pull its weight. One unit of Orc Biggins getting 20 kills. Aside from that, it was not a whole lot of kills went out. They did lose 346 men, but I think a lot of them were actually lost to crumbling rather than the Greenskin Onslaught. There's not a whole lot of kills done there. So that's 1-0 to KoS, and with that we will move on to the next battle in just a moment. So here we are again outside the Ancient Dragon Cave. We have the Lord Mazdamundi on the side of KoS and the Lizardmen, with a couple units of Saurus Cavalry, a unit of Croxigors, the Revivification Crystal, and a Feral Carnosaur. Aside from that, it's mostly just some, some feral cold ones, some Saurus infantry. We will pause that there. That loaded much faster than I expected. Some Saurus infantry and some skinks over on this flank over here, creating a nice sort of two-flank system. We've got the two skinks over here, and over on this side, the Cold One Riders and the Feral Cold Ones. The other unit of Cold One Riders are here. So we've got a nice central force with two flanking units. Mazdamundi with the entire gamut of spells. He's got everything. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with on this battle. As for the dwarves, we have down here, we have Grombrindle, the white dwarf himself, flanked by some longbeards with great weapons, some regular longbeards, more longbeards, some miners with blasting charges, and the quarrelers all over on this flank. Behind them, on the hill, we have two organ guns, the Thunderer unit, and some Giant Slayers looking to deal with any flanking forces, I imagine. You've got longbeards and quarrelers on this flank. The gyrocopter with brimstone guns up here in the sky, with the other mining charger, the other blasting charges on the miners here, and then surprisingly a unit I don't know if I've ever seen before in an actual game of Total War is Ulthar's Rangers, right here, Ulthar's Raiders. They're an armor-piercing, vanguard-deployed, stalk, fast, close-quarter infantry unit with great weapons and throwing axes. The ability of Marked by Ulthar to give minus 30 armor, minus 22 missile resistance, and 24 missile parry decrease means that anything that these guys look at will get absolutely shredded by their 57 missile damage, predominantly armor piercing. That is really, really good, actually. I'm surprised I've not seen these units before. I'm not entirely certain why, but we'll see how they perform in this game, and we'll see if that will tell me why I've not seen them before. So, with that in mind, we're going to zoom out a little and begin the battle. So the organ guns over on that side, and then the cavalry for the lizardmen have begun moving up here on one flank. No movement yet from the dwarves. They've uncovered the Ulthar's Raiders a little earlier than I expected. I guess that's potentially the predatory senses giving them a bonus there, but that's really really surprising to me. Given the game we saw yesterday, yeah, natural hunters at finding hiding prey. Given what we saw of the elves yesterday with the run through the woods, they uncovered them much earlier than I expected, but that is because of the predatory senses. At this stage, the Ulthar's Raiders are moving back. The other flank of the dwarves are pushing forward. The organ guns not moving yet and not firing because none of the lizardmen have decided to come in. But if these cavalry get engaged early, it could spell doom for them, really. One of them is just dead flat out from this brimstone gun, and now the organ guns are firing in as well. The Lizardman army has begun moving. We have movement as they come marching up. They have silenced the organ guns. Ish. That Feral Carnosaur taking a little bit of a shot from the organ guns, but missing for the moment. The Feral Cold Ones have rampaged as the blasting charges blow holes in them. Ulthar's Raiders getting absolutely trounced by them, honestly, and then the Cold One Cavalry are into the cookie pot, and they are in behind, silencing this artillery. But the Giant Slayers are coming to potentially deal with that problem. Ulthar's Raiders have seen off those Feral Cold Ones. They're going to run right off the map before they rally. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, dinosaurs. The Cold One Riders got absolutely minced by those Slayers and are not coming back anytime soon. The organ gun has moved down the hill. The others are getting back on their guns just in time for the main engagement. The Croxagors have moved up. Those Giant Slayers need to come back over here and deal with these Croxagors. Blasting charges blowing massive amounts of fire and smoke. We're doing very little discernible damage as the Revivification Crystal sends dwarves flying. The Croxagors send dwarves flying. It's bowling everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Dwarves are being bowled about. Saurus are moving in. The cavalry are in the back lines, running back and forth, jumping on Longbeards, jumping on great axe wielding Longbeards, which potentially not where they wanted to be. The organ gun has broken, unfortunately for them. Mazdamundi's floating about, and the Grombrindle has gone and engaged the Lizardmen infantry. He is going to be cutting through lizards left, right, and center. The Revivification Crystal stamping on these Longbeards, backed up by these Croxagors, who are dropping. They've lost no models, but they've taken an awful lot of HP damage. I don't know how much longer they're going to survive having with all their models intact. The other Longbeard infantry have arrived. Where did those Slayers go? They have run so far away. They are all the way over here. I think LunacyOfFenris has completely forgotten that they're there, which could be fatal here. The sheer number of large models jumping about here. Those Slayers really need to get their backsides back over here. The Croxagors have lost half their numbers and have decided that today is not their day and have left. The Saurus warriors are engaging Longbeards, not necessarily somewhere they'd want to be. And a banishment gone down on those Quarrelers. It's moved off and it's going into the back of the Longbeards. It's just absolutely mincing them. The HP drop was huge there. They lost 2 or 3 models, but the HP drop was insane. Lord Mazdamundi up to 5 kills at this point. The Slayers are on their way back now. About to get ambushed potentially by these Cold One Riders who haven't been seen yet, or they're just gonna, Benny Hill style run right past them and stand there. Okay, they're just gonna have a tea party, I think. Absolute destruction. Lizards have run ramshod all over these dwarves. The Saurus warriors have rampaged. The Longbeards are about to break. It is a little rough here. Grombrindle can make his entire army unbreakable. I feel like that potentially should have been used if it wasn't earlier. Ulthar's Raiders shooting into these Croxagors that have rallied, but then falling back thanks to the skirmish mode. The great axe wielding Longbeards and the organ guns have broken. They're not coming back. Rampaging lizards everywhere. The Slayers have finally decided to come and join the battle again, but the Revivification Bastillodon is just stamping on these Longbeards. backed up by these Saurus warriors, who there are 5 of them left, and 7 of the dwarves. Here comes the Saurus Scarvet on mostly okay health, coming in to deal with the remaining 3 dwarves in these 2 units. 13 dwarves total. More Saurus showing up to deal with that, and then the Slayers just chasing the cavalry down. That cavalry's not going to last long before Giant Slayers. Yeah, they've been absolutely massacred. There's 1 left. He's not going to live much longer, and there he goes. The Slayers on 24 kills doing work, but here come the 2 Croxigors rampaging into the Giant Slayers. This is not where they want to be. Barreling into those dwarves, but dead. Here comes the Feral Carnosaur, again at almost full health. This could be a really dangerous time to be a Slayer. There are 13 Slayers left, but they are just chunking this Feral Carnosaur's health down. Look at this. The swinging of these axes. He's going to go. He's rampaged. He's completely uncontrollable, and he's broken. But I don't know. There he goes. He's broken. I don't know if he's going to make it out alive. The remaining 10 Slayers have decided to let it happen. He's gone, but they're going to chase him down. The remaining Lizardmen army, however, there is literally just the Slayers left of the Dwarf army. There are so many infantry here, and all these ammo left on these skinks, just going to shoot these Slayers to death, I should imagine. It's just going to be a volley of javelins come in. There are 6 of these Slayers left. Let's go in and see their final moments up close as they attempt to just slay these foul lizard beasts. There's the Mastillodon. Well, he's gone and just stamped on what I can only assume is the last dwarf, and that's the end of that. So that is a 2-0 victory for KoS, with the Lizardmen crushing those dwarves at the end there. 29 kills on the Slayers, nothing on either organ gun. Their artillery and ranged fire really didn't get to do what it wanted to do, thanks to the quite nice play by that cavalry flank all the way around and into the cookie jar. More effort, I think, needs to be made to defend these missile lines, especially when you've invested all of this gold in defending those missiles. That was unfortunately really like a really big loss of gold when the cavalry got in the back and shut it all down. Really well played by both players. Well done, KoS. You have secured yourself a victory today. Thank you very much for watching. I will leave that there. I hope you have all really enjoyed this. As always, if you have, please consider dropping it a like and subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this. If you want to drop a comment below, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, and I would be very, very grateful for that. As always, it has been absolutely lovely having you, and I will see you all tomorrow.